Mrs. Shubha Shivaram will be chanting 2 Shanti Mantrams for us this morning. The first Shanti Mantram is from Shukla Yajurveda, which begins with Purnamada Purnamidam. This will be followed by the Shanti Mantram from Atharva Veda, which begins with Bhadram Karnebihi. Shubha?
Namaste, Swamiji. Om. Namaste, everyone. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Bhadram Karnebi Shuniyama Devaha Bhadram Pashirmashabiryajatraha Stirai Angai Tushtuvasastunubi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swastina Indro Vriddashravaha Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti nastashayo Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brihaspadir Dadadu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaste, Swamiji.
Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Deva Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangai Stushtuvam Sastanobhir Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vriddhashravaha Swasti nः Pusha Vishwavedaः Swasti nः Starkshyo Arishtanemi Swasti no Brihaspatirdadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. In our last satsanga, we had gone through the 7th mantra. In the 5th mantra, the division of knowledge into para and apara was described. And it was said that alone is paravidya, by which the imperishable reality is realized. And what is that? What is that imperishable? It was explained, or through many words indicated in the sixth mantra. And in the last part of sixth mantra, after saying it is eternal, all-pervading, surplused, and endless, it is said it is the cause of all beings. Bhuta yoni. How it is so? How the absolute reality, which we are understanding as the imperishable, can be the cause of universal phenomena. If something is a cause of something else, it must be something changing. Some way, some sort of mutation must happen. Otherwise, it cannot be the cause. So there is a contradiction in the sixth mantra. If it is eternal, how it can be the cause of the universe? This is the question. That question comes from simple logic, because it is said avyayam bhuta yoni. If it is avyayam, it cannot be bhuta yoni. And if it is bhuta yoni, it cannot be avyayam. Why? If something is the cause of something else, the cause must undergo through some sort of changes. When a man makes different types of pots out of clay, there is clay, there is water, there is the man who is making the pot, and of course the tools he is using. So many things. And the man is different from clay. That is one aspect. If you are saying without the help or intervention of a man or some other things as the tools, water, etc., the cause is becoming the effect without the intervention of anybody else. That also happens. Milk is becoming curd. But there also, even though there is no intervention of somebody else, some sort of mutation is happening. In either case, The cause cannot be the absolute. The cause cannot be the imperishable. If somebody else is there, it cannot be absolute. If it is undergoing mutation, it cannot be the ultimate cause or absolute. This is the question, or this is the doubt. Then how it is? So the sentence avyayam and bhutayoni, that is self-contradictory. Then Shruti, to clear that doubt or answer that criticism, give some examples how it is. Then it is said, just like a spider manifests the net without intervention of anybody else, without using any other cause, from its own, by its own. In the same way, that is the innate power which is there in the spider, the inner material which is a part of spider is being manifested. And what has been manifested is taken back also. That is the first example. Then how these plants are manifesting in this earth is a part of it. There is no plant distinct from earth. The term earth there is no doubt within that plants also are there. We are not bringing seeds or trees from outside. It is a part of earth. So it is getting manifested and later getting resolved. So what is happening is manifestation and dissolution, not creation. It is not creation. Even if we are using the term creation, it means manifestation. So this is happening. The seeds are a part of the earth, or the plants are the part of the earth. It is now distinct or different. In the same way, what is already there, manifestation happens. And the third example is Sata Purusha Kesha Loka. How hairs are coming out of the body of a living man. It's a part of the body without intervention of anybody else. It manifests. So in the same way, Aksharad Sambhavati Vishwa, from the imperishable, all these manifestations are coming. So Bhutayoni is avyayam, because no mutation is happening. And there is no intervention of anybody else. Or nothing is being used other than this. Because there is no nothing, there is no another thing. The reality is one without a second. So this is the answer given in the seventh mantra. But even then, some doubts are there with it. How it is? Examples are okay. I understood the meaning conveyed also, the message conveyed also. But still, how the imperishable can be the Bhuta Yoni? How it is? How the imperishable is manifesting as the world? Is it changing? Or is some sort of mutation happening? How? Let us go to the eighth mantra. Tapasā cīyate brahma tato'nnamabhijāyate annātprāṇo manaḥ satyaṃ lokāḥ karmasu cāmṛtam. Tapasā cīyate brahma tato'nnamabhijāyate annātprāṇo manaḥ satyaṃ lokāḥ karmasu cāmṛtam. Tapasā cīyate brahma tataḥ annam abhijāyate. Annāt prāṇah manaḥ satyaṃ lokāḥ karmasu cāmṛtam. Tapasā cīyate brahma. Tapasā cīyate brahma. Brahma, the absolute reality, existence absolute, one without a second, Brahma. Tapasā cīyate. Cīyate, the dhatu is cīyate. So it would mean is developing, is manifesting, is Manifesting is the good word. Cīyate. When we are bringing pieces of firewood and put them in one place and lit fire, the pieces of wood will start burning. So bringing up that firewood for the purpose of doing Agnihotra, that is actually Chayanam. Agni Chayanam. So here there is no Agni. Brahma is there. So here cīyate means, Chayanam means being manifested, is manifesting, or is developing. Developing would mean from the subtle form or from the causal form. It is taking the form of the gross. So that is the manifestation. That is the development here. How it is happening? Tapasā. By tapas. Tapas. So tapasā means by tapas or through tapas, Brahman is manifesting. See, when we study Shastras, we must take different words according to context. The same word will have different meanings at different places. For example, when we are taking tapaḥ as a single word away from all Shastras, it would mean heat. Tapaḥ is heat. And it is used to mean the practices or performances or our life itself, our way of life, to purify ourselves, to purify the mind, make senses controlled. So whatever we are doing to bring our senses under control and to purify the mind, that is called tapas. Manasascendriyanam cha haikagryam paramam tapaḥ. Or doing some sacrifices, that is tapas. Studying the Shastras, that is tapas. Studying and teaching, that is tapas. And controlling senses. That is tapas. And doing some or undergoing some routines to get something which cannot be attained through normal mundane means. That also is tapas. So different meanings are. Different meanings. Then what will be the meaning here? How we will take this tapasā, cīyate brahma. Brahma is manifesting through or by tapas. There we must understand the innate power which is not at all different from Brahman, one with Brahman, both in the manifest and unmanifest state, is called Maya. It is Maya. Even if it is in the unmanifest state, it is there. It is one with Brahman. But when it is in the unmanifest state, nothing is being manifested. There is no world, there is no Ishvara, there is no Jagat, there is no Jiva. Only the absolute existence, knowledge, bliss, Satta Chitta Ananda. That alone is existing. Nothing. Tadeva somyedam agra asīt ekameva dvitiyam. Oh my dear, before the manifestation of this world, that is name and form, the only Sat without a second was there. You understand that? So there is no manifestation. Nothing is manifested. The Maya was or is in the unmanifest state. But even then there is Maya, because it is the innate power, undifferentiated power. And when this innate power is manifested, even though it is one without a second, now that manifestation happened, and at that stage, we will call that Brahman Karana Brahma. That is the Brahman which is the cause of all the universe, all the manifestations. And there is the tapas. Then what is tapas? See, the world is manifested. All the jivas are manifested. So one existence absolute, all these manifestations have come. So there is a knowledge, there is a formula, or there is a scheme by which this is happening. Because in the beginning of each and every kalpa, the same thing is happening. So this is a cyclical movement. Manifestation, dissolution, manifestation, dissolution. So it is happening as per a rule. There is a scheme. Surya Chandramasau Dhata Yatha Purvama Kalpayata. Ishvara, he decided or made and ordained Surya and Chandra as they were in the earlier kalpa. How they were in the earlier kalpa. In the same way, at the present kalpa also it happened. They manifested. So that scheme is there, and according to that, this phenomenon is repeated. And therefore, tapas would mean remembering that scheme, that order, that formula by which all these manifestations are being made. How this happened in the Purva Kalpa? That knowledge, remembering that knowledge, or taking out that knowledge, that is tapasya. That is tapasya. And therefore, Bhagavan Bhashyakara, Shankaracharya, gives the meaning jnanam here. Tapasā jnanena. That means by the knowledge. Knowledge of what? Knowledge of the scheme. Knowledge of the formula. See, when the innate power of Brahman Maya is manifested, then he is becoming Ishvara, Karana Brahma. Karana Brahma is Ishvara. Nothing is coming anew. What is there already, it is getting manifested. And at that stage, that knowledge, with that knowledge, see, when we are in the state of sushupti, all our individuality, all our knowledge, all these are in the unmanifest state. And when we are coming to the state of waking or a dream, what is already there? Nothing is coming from outside. What is already there the manifestation of that happens. So from the causal state, we are coming to the subtle or gross. In the same way, in the Ishvara, this knowledge, this awareness regarding the creation, we can use that term, but we must understand by creation we must not take it as making something new. No, it is manifestation. So that knowledge. Here Bhagavan Bhashyakara therefore translates tapasā as jnanena, by jnanam, by knowledge. In some other places, not here, in some other places in many other Upanishads, wherever this context comes, Bhashyakara writes, Atra srishti vishayagam tapaha anvalocanam. Srishti vishayagam anvalocanam atra tapaha. For example, in places like satapo atapyata, he underwent tapas before creation, before manifesting the world. And there Bhashyakara gives the meaning, Srishti Vishayakam Anvalochanam, remembering the knowledge of manifestation, the knowledge of creation. So that a process of remembering happens. That is picking out. Just like when we are coming back to our waking state from Sushupti, deep sleep, slowly all these knowledges regarding ourselves and the world around, slowly that is being manifested. There was no world, now the world is. There was no mother, there was no father, nobody, now they are coming. All my duties and responsibilities, my rights, all these things. This body consciousness, all these. In the same way, with the knowledge, remembering that knowledge, he brought back that knowledge, which was already there. Which was already there. So that bringing back of, taking back of that knowledge, and with that knowledge, knowledge of what? Knowledge of the creation, which was already there. With that knowledge, brahma, cīyate, manifesting. How? tato'nnamabhijāyate, tataḥ, from that process of manifestation, annam abhijāyate. Annam is manifesting, abhijāyate. Is manifesting. What is annam? in the very basic sense of the term, annam is food. That which is eaten. That which is eaten is annam. Adyate iti annam. So that is food. That is the very primary meaning. Here, it would mean the avyakta, the world in the unmanifest level. What is the difference? Earlier also we used the term unmanifest. And here also we are using the term unmanifest. How? Understand that earlier we were speaking about the Maya in the unmanifest level. Now, when the knowledge of manifestation, knowledge of creation happened, it was brought out. Then the unmanifest world came in Savya. And how it is annam? It is being eaten back. Annāmabhijāyate. Annātprāṇo. From that, the prana. See, all these are in the macro level, not in the micro. Not in the individual level. Samashti. The energy in the universal level that manifested. Then manaḥ, the mind, it is not the individual mind, it is the samashti, which the Sankhyas call as mahattatvam. That manifested. Then satyaṃ, elements, panchabhutas. Then lokāḥ, many levels of experience, the world, many worlds, and karma, the activities there. When there is world, there are the activities of different organisms, our actions, and in those karma, there is cāmṛtam, that is the reward of such fruits of such karma, that is karma bhalam. All these are manifesting. All these are manifesting. So the meaning is from the absolute existence, the innate power which is there or which was there already, that manifests, and when that is manifested, he is called Ishvara, because there is the concept of the world, of the universe, of the manifestations there, and from that cause, slowly the subtle plane emerges, and within that subtle there are these two aspects. One, the aspect of matter, other the aspect of energy. But see, these are in the subtle level, not in the gross. That is annam and prana. And these lokāḥs and many activities in the lokāḥs and the fruits of such activities, all these are manifesting. So there is no any other entity for this manifestation. There is no such mutations happening within, because that Brahma is Brahma. Always it is the same. It is the immutable. But all these are happening by its own, without being changed. No change is happening. No mutations happen. What was already there, that is manifesting. See? So first, what is happening is Maya, the innate power, that is being manifested, and then that knowledge, that remembrance happens, and that formula, the scheme is getting clear, and again the process of creation, which we can call manifestation, happens. This is a repeat. So the whole universe is emerging, or it is manifesting from this cause. There is a question in the Prashnopanishad. O Acharya, O Bhagavan, who is Shodashakala Purusha? Kala is the part. So Shodashakala Purusha means the Purusha with 16 parts with it, or limbs with it. As an answer, The Rishi replies, it is the Atman itself. Because all the kalas, beginning with the prana and ending with the name, in between this lokāḥ comes, karma comes, all the bhutas, all the manifestations, everything. That is from the very, what we can call the concept of the creation or remembrance of that knowledge. Knowledge of what? Knowledge of the creation. From that, up to different names, he, she, that, this, human being, tree. All these parts of the manifestation are within one absolute entity, and therefore he is with all this. But even when he is with all this, he is not at all undergoing any change or mutation. Because all these are there, and these were there in the causal state. So what is there in the causal state are getting manifested in the gross. Nothing is happening as new. What already was there is getting manifested. So let us, this is a comparatively difficult mantra. Bhagavan Bhashyakara, see, he explains this as tapasā jnānena utpatti vidhignataya bhūtayoni aksharam brahma cīyate upacīyate. The development of Brahman happens by jnana, knowledge. And what is that knowledge? Utpatti vidhignataya. That is the knowledge of the formula. Vidhignata. Knowledge of the formula of utpatti, manifestation. How this should be manifested. That knowledge. With that knowledge, Brahma, the absolute reality or absolute existence, that upacīyate, develops or manifests or bulges out. Bulges out. How utpadayishyad idam jagad, manifesting this universe. Like what? Anguramiva bijam. Anguramiva bijam. Without taking anything, without calling anybody, without taking anything, without calling anybody, a seed is manifesting out. It is sprouting. So just as a sprout from a seed, anguramiva bijam. In the same way, tapasā cīyate brahma. Evam sarvajñataya srishtisthiti samhara shakti vijñānavattaya upacitātu tataḥ brahmanaḥ annam adyate bhujyate iti annam avyākṛtam sadharanam kāranam samsārinam vyāchikīrshita avastharūpena bhijāyate utpadyate. So with that knowledge of manifestation and dissolution. That is an important matter. Where there is the knowledge of manifestation, there is the knowledge of dissolution. Both these are together. So with that knowledge within, annam utpadyate. What is annam? That being which is being eaten. And here it would mean avyakritam, the unmanifest. The world in the unmanifest form. That develops. Tatascha avyakritad vyachikirshid avastham annātprāṇah hiranyagarbhaha. Pranaha here means the samashti prana, not the individual prana, which we are cognizing through the movements of air. No, not that. The samashti prana. That is all the beings in the subtle form. That is hiranyagarbha. In the form of what we can call subtle energy, or we can use an apt word as cosmic energy. But we must understand that within that energy, all things to be manifested as materials are there. This Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is often referred in Puranas as Brahma. So he is the samashti of, or samashti subtle aspect, not the gross. So prana, jnana kriya shakti adhishtitaha jagat sadharanaha avidya kama karma bhuda samudaya bijanguraha jagadatma is the repository of all the creations in the subtle form. Whatever gross are manifested later, all are in the subtle form within Hiranyagarbha. Just like in the from the bija, from the seed, a small projection came out. Even though it is a small projection, there are no leaves, there are no flowers, no seeds, no branches, nothing. But all these are there in the subtle form. These were in the causal form within the seed, but now they are in the subtle form. In the same way, the whole universe, the whole world, with all varieties, are in the subtle form. Within this Hiranyagarbha, within this prana, samashti prana. We can call him Ishvara in the subtle form. Karana Brahma also is Ishvara, but it is in the causal. Now it is in the subtle. When it is in the gross form, that is the world. That also is Ishvara. The world is Ishvara because it is in the manifested form. Manifested form means manifested in the gross level, whereas Hiranyagarbha is manifested in the subtle level. That also is a sort of manifestation. But when we use the term manifestation, normally we would get the meaning in the gross level. Here we have to take in the subtle level. So this Hiranyagarbha or prana comes. And from there, tasmad pranad manaḥ manakyam sankalpa vikalpa samshaya nirnayadhyatmakam abhijāyate. Whether to do this, whether to do that. That is sankalpa vikalpa. That mind. But we must understand all these are in the gross level. No, not gross. All the samashti level. That is macro level. Not in the individualistic level. The individuals comes later. Tasmad satyāṃ bhuta panchakad andakramena sapta lokāḥ bhūjāteha. And from that, the bhutas, that is the elements, akasham, vayu, agni, jalam, bhumi, and from them put together andaha, sapta lokāḥ, all the worlds, 7 worlds, bhūjāteha, beginning with this earth. Teshu manushyādi prāni varnāśrama kramena karmāni. And within these worlds, different beings as human beings and the like, and their activities, the works they are doing. Karmasu ca nimitta bhūteshu cāmṛtam karmajam phalam. And as the effect of those activities, karma, the fruits of such karma, and it is called amritam here because that rule is everlasting. For karma, there will be phala. There's no doubt in that. If there is karma, there will be phala. So it is amritam. It is unending. That principle. It is never dying. If you are doing anything, you will have the result. The result will come, must come. So it is amritam. So in this order, all the manifestations are coming out or are being manifested from the same Brahman without being changed. So that immutable existence, absolute, is being manifested as the whole world. This is the idea. This is a rather difficult mantra to understand, but we have to ponder on it again and again. So the idea conveyed is, without any change or without any mutation or without the help of anybody else, Brahma, manifesting the knowledge already there, it is being manifested as many. And the many will be dissolved back. Just as the example of spider, this happens. So this is the 8th mantra. It is rather difficult, but still, through many other mantras within this Mundakopanishad itself and in many other Upanishads, this idea is explained. So this is like a note of a student. We have to develop the idea. When we read the note, all the ideas will not be conveyed. But we have to explain that. To explain this, we must go through the whole of Mundakopanishad. So after studying the Mundakopanishad, we can come back again to the 8th mantra, then we will understand it with a better light. Now remember what this mantra means. And even if we cannot get all the meanings, don't worry. After studying all the 3 Mundakas, that is Mundakopanishad as a whole, we will get a clear picture of this mantra. And if we are not getting a clear picture, then we will come back again and discuss this mantra. Because this mantra itself is being developed in the parts to come. Then we will think it again. Namaste.
Namaste, Swamiji. Today,
Namaste.
there is one question from Preeti Vijaychandarji. She had to leave early, so she has posted the question to me. And the question I am reading out: I understand that we are Brahman or the Tattva Aham Brahmasmi. But why do we forget this divinity that is us so easily within few minutes and become involved in our day-to-day issues? Does Maya make us forget our true nature?
See, as long as we are in this world, that is within the net of names and forms, we will get involved in that. And even when we are getting involved in the net of Maya, we are what we are. That is not at all changing. I am moving through different states of manifestation as waking dream and deep sleep. And experiences there are entirely different. But I am the experiencer. And I am understanding all this, even though they are different. And I am existing in all these states. And I am loving me most. That means I am Sat, I am Chit, and I am Ananda. So I am Brahman. But when we are identifying ourselves with the world around, when we are identifying with the names and forms in the world, then we are forgetting this nature. We are not changing. Always we are Sat, Chit, and Ananda. But we are forgetting. And we are not understanding that our real nature is Satchidananda. How it is happening? Acharya says, because of hindrance, pratibandha. What is that pratibandha? What is that hindrance? In this matter, Vidyaranya Swami, the author of Panchadashi, he wrote many treatises on Vedanta, many. One such important treatise on Vedanta is Panchadashi. Within that, he gives an example. A father or a mother goes to the school of his or her child. When he reached the class, all the students in that class were chanting some mantra or something, some poem together. Just imagine there were 30 students in the class. So all the 30 students were chanting one poem, a particular mantra together. Of course, the child of that man or woman was also there. So the voice of child also was there with it. But the mother or the father will not recognize that voice. Of course, the voice is there and they are hearing the voice, and within that, the voice of their child is there. There is no question. There is no doubt. But they will not recognize. Why? All the voices of 30 students are together, and therefore they cannot differentiate or distinguish that. This is happening. We are Satchitananda always, but we are mixing that knowledge. We are mixing that awareness with many things of the world. So Satchitananda is always being perceived, but that is a mixed perception. For example, I am saying I am Swami Chidananda Puri. When the Swami Chidananda Puri is uttered, definitely this form, it comes. The color, height, weight, many things. But even there is arm. I arm. Arm is there. And when I am saying you are, your form is coming. And along with the form, many other things. He is a policeman, or he is a teacher, he is this, he is a politician, he is a sannyasin, this, that, many things. He is an Indian, American, European, many things. Man, woman. But even then, that R is there. So in all our transactions, whether it is connected with human beings or any other beings or inert things as we are calling, there is this existence. We cannot negate it. So that existence is there and the awareness of that existence is there, but it is being mixed with many other things. And that is happening. Now we are to be in that awareness constantly, even when mixed with many things. For example, take, I'm saying muddy water, and that water is full of mud. And therefore it is not clear. It is not clean. It is not clear. It is not clean because it is muddy. Let us ask one question. Even when it is muddy, I am saying the water is pure. Because in the intermolecular spaces of the water, the molecules of mud are stay. And therefore it is muddy water. But the water is pure. You separate the mud, water is pure. Water was pure. Water, the molecules of water cannot be the molecules of mud. It was pure always, but it was mixed with. Even when it was mixed, it was pure. In the same way, when I am considering myself as a sannyasin or a householder or a thief or a robber or a politician or a doctor or an engineer or a teacher, whatever it is, or a farmer, I am there. So have that awareness always. Play the roles which are coming in the world. In this drama, we must play many, many roles. Act perfectly. Now I am in the role of taking the class, Mundakopanishad, and clearing question and answers. Doing this session. I have to act perfectly. After this, I have to attend a meeting at 11 o'clock itself, so we will stop these 5 minutes early. So when attending that meeting, I am not a man who is taking Mundakopanishad class. And I have to attend that. Both these personalities are different. Both these personalities are different. But the individuality is the same. Be aware of that. So whenever we are in the world, we have to be in the world. We have to act. We have to work. But always remember that awareness must be there with it. Or it is there. It is there. But it is mixed up with many things. So I was Brahman and I am Brahman and I will be Brahman. Even in the world. Even in the midst of many, many activities. I'm saying there are many waves in the ocean. The water is turbulent. Yes. But physically, the plane of the ocean is moving and turbulence is there. But what about water molecules? It is the same. When it was calm, when it was roaring, it is the same. It is the same. No change is coming. In the same way, I am the Sat Chit Ananda, the very base of all these manifestations. This is the answer. So have that awareness with. To help us keep that awareness, all these swadhyaya are of much use. Namaste.
Namaste. Next question, Arun Babuji.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste.
Today's question, my question is more related to today's mantra. See, as a Karana Brahman, Ishvara is manifesting in three ways. One is Sthiti, Srishti, Samhara as Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva, and it is connected to the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So though we call each guna, Sattva cannot be higher than Tamas or Rajas, but at the same time we always say the Sattva Guna Pradhanam is considered as a highest preference. So my question is that since Shiva is connected to Tamas and it is always called, it is a Mahadevan, Devan of all Deva. So when that Sattva is more preferent, how this connection is happening? So can you please explain, Swami?
See, actually there is no difference at all. And see, we are giving more importance to Sattva from a purely worldly point of view. And we, the same people who are giving that importance to Sattva, will give importance to Rajas when we are considering the creativity or creation. Of course, to have that creation, dissolution must happen. If dissolution is not there, how creation can happen? So this is a cyclical movement. And see, if we are Vaishnavas, we will consider Vishnu as the Paramatma, not as somebody dominant in or dominant with Sattva Guna. And if we are Shaivas, we will consider Shiva as the Paramatma, Parameshwara, not as a tamasic Deva. This we must understand. So when we are saying Mahadeva, he is not tamasic. He is the same Paramatma whom the Vaishnavas call Vishnu. When we are calling Narayana, it is not Sattvic Devata, it is the Paramatma whom the Shaivas call Shiva. But in the secondary level, when we are dividing Devatas into many, then we will attribute Sattva to Vishnu, Tamas to Rudra, and Rajas to Brahma. That is only when we are taking the phenomenal plane, world, and it is in the secondary level. So Mahadeva, he is the Paramatma. Narayana is the Paramatma. When we are dividing the phenomenal existence into three, or then only we are saying Rudra is the tamasic. I think this is a question which needs much more explanation. And so we will take this in our next sitting. Now we have to conclude this. And next Saturday we can continue. And of course, this question we can take first. Namaste. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Deva Bhadram Pasche Makshabhiryajatra Sthirairangai Stushtuvam Sastanubhir Vyashema Deva Hitam Yadayuhu स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नः तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमि स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ओम शांति शांति शांतिः ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः।